They have it all over the Eagles.
I think the interesting statistic, beside the turnovers in favor of the Denver Broncos, are the Broncos rushing as opposed to their passing. Normally, big passing team, not much run production. Today, a lot of running, and I anticipate that Dan Reeves is going to try and continue that same philosophy. Winder has 76 yards on 13 carries. Will Height with 25 yards on 5 carries. And Elway only 5 of 10, only 10 attempts, and all 5 of those going to running backs. Now, a couple of those have gone to Sewell, which is he's also a wide receiver, but I'm sure that the Broncos are happy to have some kind of running game after not having it for so long.
The kickoff by Paul McFadden. Ken Bell on the return. Bell, a rookie from Boston College, a free agent addition to the Denver roster, returned at 18 yards, and the Broncos to the offense. John Elway last year led the NFL in total offense statistically, not having a grand afternoon, but it has not mattered with the way this game has gone.
I think if they needed Elway to throw and get some yardage, he could. They've just been getting it on the ground and had good field position because of the turnovers.
First down at the 22. Denver goes double tight end with Hackett and Kay. And it is Will Height with the big hole. And Will Height run out by Ronell Young. So Dan Reeves is certainly getting the work on the ground. Will Height going 42 yards.
Good blocking up front. Here is Darby and Young. They'll split, and the play will come right between them. As you'll take a good look from the defense side, Darby 94 is being blocked by Hackett 85. Gets just enough of him to spring Will Height, and the running game of the Denver Broncos is high gear.
Watson goes out to the left. First down at the Eagle 36 with just underway, third quarter. Will Height tripped up by Byron Darby. Darby, Clark, White, Brown up front for the Eagles. Cobb, Reichenbach, Johnson, the linebackers. And the deep men are Young, Waters, Hopkins, and Fowles, who replaced Cooper, who was shaken up in the second quarter. Pickup of 3, second and 7 at the Philadelphia 33. Broncos looking to make it a record of 3-0. Eagles come in at 0-2. And Denver with that commanding 26-0 lead. Now Sewell and Winder in the backfield. Elway goes sideline. Nice catch by Sampson. Roynell Young, the cornerback, on the coverage, a short pickup. It'll be third down and 1 for Denver.
Marv, one of the things I like about Denver and Dan Reeves, and offensively and defensively, he keeps so many people in the game. Defensively, he's got the defensive backs in different situations. The linebackers move around. Offensively, all their backs play. Lang is at an injury, not playing much today. Will Height, Winder, Sewell, all the wide receivers, the tight ends are off. It keeps them all in the game.
And right now on the near side, they have that touchdown threat. Dave Sutter, the left tackle, lined up again as a tight end. He caught a touchdown in the first half. But the pass to Sewell. And Sewell has the first down, chased out by Fowles. On the subject of Studdard, back in '79, he caught a touchdown in a victory over Seattle. This time Elway rolling left and going the other side.
Nice throw by Elway. Not easy to roll to your left and throw that way for a right-hander, but it's almost like the shell game. Moving people around. You don't ever know who's got the ball. Will Height can do so many things. Sewell can do so many things. And the mastermind, Dan Reeves, is not afraid to put him in there and let him do these things.
3 catches for Sewell for 72 yards. First down at the 17. Now back to the ground. And this time Will Height is stuffed. Reichenbach and Johnson, the linebackers, coming up to make the stop. Minute and a half gone by in this third quarter. It'll be a 2nd and 10 at the Eagle 17.
This offense is operating without Vance Johnson, their top receiver with the speed that's out with a leg injury, and they hope to have him back within 6 to 8 weeks.
Johnson with 57 catches last year. And it's Sammy Winder for another Denver score. Sammy Winder giving the Broncos a 32-0 lead.
Well, you got to start wondering about the Philadelphia defense, because it was supposed to be a very run-oriented style of defense. Now you can't run against it. Last week, Walter Payton, 177 yards against this defense. And now the Broncos, who are not a rushing team, come in here 26th in the league in running and have already run up and down the field on them. So you got to wonder about that run defense of the Eagles.
And here is Rich Carlos. Extra point. And it is good. So the Broncos continue the clobbering of the Eagles. Winder scoring his 2nd touchdown of the day. It is now 33-0.
To be in. Welcome to the Silver Bullet, home of a cold Coors Light.
Jimbo, yo, where's Nadine tonight?
They're probably sitting by the phone waiting for yours truly. Give me a Coors Light, will you, sweet thing?
You guys have a little love spat?
Nah, man's got to have some space. Gotta show these women who's boss. It's got to zig when they zag. Hey, I know it's brutal, but a man's got to do. But Nadine.
Yo. Oh, she looks miserable.
Yeah.
No slowing down with the Silver Bullet tonight.
Today's game is brought to you by Mercury, the shape you want to be in. By Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It doesn't get any better than this. And by Owens Corning Building Products. We put your house in the pink.
Buddy Ryan staring across the field, watching his Philadelphia Eagles on this kickoff return. His club trailing 33-0. Charles Crawford out to the 25-yard line. 15-yard return. Rick Dennison on the tackle. So Philadelphia first down from their 25.
It's a rushing defense. Eagles coming into this game were last in the league. And I think after this game, they're going to still be last in the league.
Unless there is an astronomical blowout somewhere else, they will hold on to that pitch. On the handoff to Keith Myers, who has not been able to get going. Andre Townsend, the right defensive end. On the stop, Myers, the #1 draft pick out of Ohio State. So his average coming in only 1.6, and has not added to that average this afternoon. Second and 10. Kenny Jackson split to the left. That's the near side. Jaworski throws the middle. Tight end Dave Little. Right at the first down marker, Ricky Hundley, inside linebacker, on the stop. Right here, we'll pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network. Marv Albert with Bob Greasy from Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. The Eagles did pick up the first down. And they're operating from their 35-yard line. 3.5 gone by, third quarter. Again over the middle. Nice catch. Michael Haddix for a 29-yard pass play. Lewis White on the stop.
Haddix, a good receiver out of the backfield. Much better receiver than he is ball carrier, of course, as you mentioned earlier, #1 draft choice a couple of years ago. But this is the time of the game, Marv, when the game is so far out of hand that everybody relaxes. The offense loosens up, and unfortunately, the defense has a tendency to let down a little bit. So you may go to see some plays like that, which was a play that doesn't normally go that far. Usually he's going to get hit by one of the defensive backs.
And a first down at the Denver 36-yard line. Mike Quick on the reception. Another Philadelphia first down. Lewis White making the stop on Quick. Getting back to the scoreboard, Buffalo in front of St. Louis. New England now by 3 over Seattle, and the Rams leading Indianapolis. Minnesota in front of Pittsburgh, and Tampa Bay looking for its first victory of the season. First down at the Denver 26. 5 minutes in, third quarter. Jaworski fumbling the snap and able to cover up.
You saw in your picture the defense for the Broncos moving around 7 and 8 men on the line of scrimmage. Jaworski checking off, as you see right there. That was a play earlier that Dennison, 55, caused the fumble. That time, when you're up at the line of scrimmage and you're a quarterback and you see those people, you're anxious to get out of there. You're checking off. This is part of the confusion that Joe Collier has brought to the Bronco defense this year.
Eagles center is Jerry Feary, who was a pleasant surprise his first year as a starter, backed up by Matt Darwin, who is the projected future starter at center. Second down, 13. And Jaworski nearly picked off. Randy Robbins could not hold on. The pass intended for the tight end, Dave Little. There's Little, third year out of Middle Tennessee.
Robbins with a good play. Doesn't get an opportunity to play that much with the fine play of Dennis Smith, who is playing today with a slightly broken collarbone or a bone in his shoulder. But Denver Broncos with very good many, a lot of players, good players in the defensive secondary.
Third down specialist Randall Cunningham has come on for Jaworski, and he throws one. Nice peg, touchdown for Kenny Jackson. Well, after much adversity, it finally worked.
See it again. Plenty of time. Cunningham stands in there. You know, how many times you throw a touchdown? One every 7 or 8 times. The other times, I just don't agree with putting Cunningham in there very cold. I think Jaworski could have thrown that pass as easily as Cunningham could have.
His second touchdown throw in his 2-year NFL career. And the point after by Paul McFadden is good. So the Eagles finally dent the scoreboard and trail 33-7 with 6 minutes gone by in this third quarter.
Crow Wing, Minnesota and Old Milwaukee both mean something great to these guys. Crow Wing means Northern Pike.
unexpected problems should arise, Transamerica Property, Casualty, and Life Insurance can be there to protect you.
Hey, you big ape! Who's gonna pay for this mess?
Transamerica. For insurance and financial services, the power of the pyramid is working for you.
Next Sunday, the NFL plays here when the Seahawks battle the Redskins.
Before your team takes the field, our team hits the air. NFL 86.
Second-year quarterback Randall Cunningham just fired the touchdown pass. And he's got to be a confused young man. Aside from the pressure of coming in on third down, I know they try to change his delivery. They felt he wasn't throwing fast enough. They wanted to go more three-quarter.
Well, I think jerking him in and out has got to do a lot not to give him any confidence. I remember when Marino first came into Miami, Shula put him in situations where he could build up his confidence. This going in on third and long can't do anything but hurt his confidence.
Here's the return by Ken Bell. Good return, stiff arming his way out to the 42-yard line. 33-yard kickoff return. Wes Hopkins pushed him out. And here's Gary Kubiak coming on very early for John Elway. So Gary Kubiak in his fourth year out of Texas A&M providing a rest for John Elway with this 33-7 Denver lead early in the third quarter. Gary Kubiak making his first appearance this regular season. Last year threw only 5 passes, 2 of 5 for 61 yards in 3 appearances, but he's had some big games in the past coming on for Elway. Wilhite following Winder and able to make the turn. Good acceleration by Gerald Wilhite. Hit down by Elbert Fowles. And it'll be just shy of the first down. So the stat line on Elway, 7 of 12, 96 yards, 1 touchdown, and a methodical day for John Elway as Denver very successful in converting a couple of turnovers and also with an excellent running game.
He really had a day off. I mean, he engineered the drives. He was there if they needed him, but they really didn't need him to shine today. They did it with the running game and the turnovers.
2nd and 1 at midfield. Winder has the first down. They push him back. Reggie White, who has been very quiet here today. Last year, the NFC Defensive Rookie of the Year, Reggie White, on the stop. A wild game at the Meadowlands with the Jets now leading Miami 31-28. And how about Atlanta over Dallas now 27-21. I see Marino has thrown a 4th touchdown pass to bring Miami within 3. Buffalo maintaining its lead. Same for Minnesota. Tampa Bay. First down at the Philadelphia 47. And it's Watson, 81, in motion. Wilhite stumbled and was able to recover.
Broncos working on their running game today, Marv. The wide receivers, I don't believe, have caught a pass all afternoon, other than Sewell, who is also a running back wide receiver. But not only does Elway get the day off, but maybe Steve Watson, who is probably the most underrated wide receiver in the game today. Caught passes in 49 straight games. That's one record that may be in jeopardy here today. I'm sure that they'll try and get him the ball at least once.
2nd down and 4. And Winder stopped behind the line by Wes Hopkins. This is a homecoming for Steve Watson out of Temple University. Went to high school in Delaware. Watson has not caught a pass today. We're checking the stat sheet. The only wide receiver catching a pass in a short pop was Clint Sampson. That's been it. Depends what your definition of Sewell's position is. He's been lining up in the backfield and then peeling off, but he has caught 3. 3rd down and 5. Wilhite has now run for 85 yards, 10 carries. 6 minutes left, 3rd quarter. Dump pass. That looked like Kubiak was looking for something else. All right, we're set for an update. Let's go to Bob Costas, NFL 86.
Thanks, Marv. In Foxborough, the Seahawks get back in it against the Patriots. Dave Craig up top to the former Colt Ray Butler. 54 yards for a touchdown, and they are within 3, 17-14 in the third. Marv?
Thank you, Bob. Back here at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, as you see Denver well in front of the Philadelphia Eagles. And the punting unit comes on for the Broncos. Mike Waters drops back in single safety. Jack Wheel. There's Waters. And Wheel is back at his 43. Jack Wheel at previous tryouts with Atlanta and Houston. He replaced Chris Norman. Directional attempt. And will do the job. Kicked out by Waters. What was he doing?
Trying to pick it up. Wheel got away with a shank. He was trying to kick that ball to the left coffin corner and actually shanked it down the middle of the field to the right side of the field, and Waters just kicks it out of bounds.
Goes as a 36-yard punt, and the Eagles will be pinned in. Back at their 7, and check that out. Combination of Wilhite and Winder. Wilhite 85 yards, Winder 94. Broncos over the Eagles 33-7. 5:45 remaining. Third quarter. Play action. And the short dump. Little out across the 15. Mike Harden on the stop. We've received word that Carl Mecklenburg suffered a slight concussion, and they'll keep him out the rest of the way. There's Carl Mecklenburg. Did not become a starter until the 10th game last year, but he has come on so fast.
Call him the gopher defense. He went to Minnesota, and there's not many players in the National Football League that have had defenses named after him. Get back to that in a minute here.
2nd and 1. And Haddix with the first down across the 20.
The Broncos call that their gopher defense after Mecklenburg as he moves around. The 46 that Buddy Ryan brought in actually started because of Doug Plank at Chicago, who wore number 46, and he moved him up as a linebacker. And then, of course, the 53 defense in Miami was named after the number of Bob Matheson. So Mecklenburg makes it special when he's in there.
Eagles from their 21 to the first down.
384! 384!
Kenny Jackson going around a bit, and that could be an unsportsmanlike. The ruling was that he was down, and the play was blown dead, and he did not like the call. He thought he was still alive, and he pegged it at the official, but apparently he'll get away with it. A 30-yard pass play.
Kenny Jackson out here. He's just going to come down and run a post. Jaworski's going to get the ball to him. The two-deep zone, and he gets down the middle of the field. And he is down.
3 catches, 77 yards for Jackson, and a first down at midfield. And no receiver in sight. He looked right, saw that the man was covered, then went the other side. We've received word that Philadelphia wide receiver Phil Smith broke his hand. Phil Smith was originally a starter, replaced today by Kenny Jackson, so Smith suffering a broken hand. It'll be a 2nd and 10 at midfield. Jaworski 11 for 25, 168 yards. But not much has been accomplished by the Eagles offensively. 3.5 left, third quarter. Pass intended for Byers, covered by Woodard. Nothing happens here. You go for Cunningham next series? What do you think?
I think you go ahead and go with the younger players. Kavanaugh is the second-team quarterback, but I think Cunningham, the more he gets the experience, the quicker he's going to be your quarterback in the future, and they've said that he is.
And he's coming in here now for the third down play. And his last appearance, he threw the touchdown to Jackson on a 29-yard pass play. This is a 3rd and 10. And Cunningham able to complete, but the hit by Harden stopping Haddix, and the Eagles short of the first down by a good 7-8 yards.
Harden playing a super game, an interception earlier for a touchdown as we take a look. But Harden with good vision into the backfield, always sees where the ball's coming from. Harden may be hard-pressed to keep his job once Mark Haynes comes back from the injured reserve list. Haynes was picked up from the New York Giants in a trade earlier in the season, and just going to add to the depth of that Bronco defensive secondary.
Haynes out with a torn muscle in his thigh on the injured reserve list for 2 more games, including today. Telchik's punt popped high in the air and downed at the 6 by Terry Hogue. 30-yard punt. Fans here wanted Buddy Ryan to go for the first down, and may have heard the reaction. Make that a 40-yard punt by Telchik, and we'll take a break. Back after these words. That's now tied at 31. Marino's thrown 4. O'Brien has thrown 2. Atlanta in front of Dallas in the third quarter. Buffalo now leading St. Louis 17-3. New England by 3 over Seattle. LA Rams maintaining their lead on Indianapolis. Minnesota extending over Pittsburgh, and Tampa Bay looking for victory number 1 with a 24-6 edge. 2.5 to go. Third quarter. And Denver front at 6. Gary Kubiak in at quarterback, replacing John Elway, who had a very easy day at the office. Sammy Winder out to the 8-yard line. Rich Kranick on the stop, and the Eagles now throwing some of their backup people in there. Wayne Giles and Jody Schultz, Rich Kranick, the linebackers.
I guess Ryan says if you can't play defense any better than that, I'll put some of the backups in, see if they can do any better. Sammy Winder having a big day for the Broncos.
2nd and 7. The ball is spotted just inside the 9.
Take a look at Reggie White, number 92, in the middle of that line for the Eagles. 6'5", 285, Baptist minister. Got some words to say to him in that huddle.
And they called him the Minister of Defense at Tennessee. Here's Kubiak with his first pass. Mark Jackson has the first down. Fowles and Schultz on the stop.
Mark Jackson, the big surprise for the Broncos this year is they didn't have a first, second, or third round draft choice because of the trades for Hundley. They lost a first and gave a first and a third to Cincinnati, and then the trade for Mark Haynes a second. But Jackson, a 6th round draft choice from Purdue, as we mentioned, is really a big surprise, and they're very pleased with his receiving and his speed.
First down of the 18. Kubiak taken down from behind by Greg Brown. Greg Brown with 13 sacks last year. Very fast player. 6th season out of Kansas State, and he has collected the Eagles' 4th sack of the day.
Well, this has got to be a sack on Kubiak. He had plenty of time to throw. You can't wait that long. He had to move up in the pocket. There was plenty of room to move up in the pocket. One of the things that Dan Marino does so well is see where to move in the pocket. Elway feels his way around. You got to scoot around here, a little move up, move back, and feel the pocket without actually looking where your offensive linemen are.
Loss of 8, 2nd and 18 from the 10. A minute left, third quarter. Kubiak from his end zone on the screen for Wilhite. Flag thrown. Wilhite brought down across the 15 by Brenard Wilson. And it's called on Denver. Referee Dick Hantak Gerald Wilhite may be the man. Let's see. And Wes Hopkins is shaken up. Eagles checking him out.
He hurt a knee last week against the Bears. It was a bruised knee. He didn't practice all week. Played in the ball game, and if they lose Wes Hopkins.
Ineligible downfield offense. Number 60. Penalty decline. 3rd down.
They'll lose a valuable player in that defensive secondary. Let's take a look at that last play. Here's Wilhite right here, and the penalty is going to be on number 60 as he's going to be downfield as Wilhite slips through here and receives the ball. Howard gets downfield too far, as you see Howard blocking on his man, and then lets him go. It's a screen downfield. Good call. Saw the official on the left there see it all the way. Paul Howard in there filling for the injured Cooper.
Mark Cooper with that slightly separated shoulder suffered Monday night against Pittsburgh. Wilhite was also shaken up off the collision with Hopkins. Next week here on NBC, we'll have doubleheader football starting with NFL 86 at 12:30, and a good lineup. Seattle playing at Washington, Kansas City at Buffalo, Pittsburgh will be at Houston. These are the early games, followed by New England at Denver. How about the Chargers and the Raiders?
The Raiders are in tough straits right now, 0-2, and they're playing the Giants today, and they need a win badly.
There's Wes Hopkins. You mentioned the bruised knee. Did not practice all week. A walk-on at SMU, now in his 4th season with the Philadelphia Eagles, coming off a splendid year. Made the Pro Bowl last year for the first time. 3rd and 12 from the 16. Penalty flags tossed. Wilhite on the swing. Wilhite first down and more. But we'll check out the penalties. Terry Hogue bumped him out. 23-yard pickup. This 3rd quarter winding down. 38 seconds to go. Broncos leading it 33-7.
Defense, number 98, offside, penalty decline, 1st down.
So Greg Brown, the right defensive end, is called on the offside, and Denver with a 1st down from their 40.
You got to give a lot of credit to Reeves for adapting his offense to the style of players that he has. He doesn't ask Wilhite to do the pounding and the heavy running in there. He uses him on the swing passes, lets him do the returns on the special teams, uses him in the light work. He does that with all of his players.
Hopkins out for the rest of the day. Again, a knee problem. Winder picked up a couple. Winder and Wilhite headed for the 100-yard mark, and it will mark the first time since back in November of 1974 that 2 Bronco players went over the 100-yard rushing mark in a single game. In Oakland in 1974, Otis Armstrong, 146 yards. John Keyworth was 148. That's the last time. And with that carry by Winder, he is exactly at 100 yards for the day off 18 carries. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. So at the end of 3, Denver 33, Philadelphia 7. Back after these words from your local station.
It was a magic night. There was dining, dancing, and an anniversary surprise that Herbert would never forget.
Tomorrow. Heads up, beer drinkers. It's Coors Extra Gold.
This ain't no straight ace anyways. Featherweight beer, you'll agree. This is Coors Extra Gold. It's the beer with the taste.
Misdirection play. The 2 linemen on the right side pull, and Kubiak fakes the ball. Now this is from not playing. If he were in there and playing a lot, he would not throw this ball. But the rust the lack of playing time. He goes ahead, tries to get rid of the football, and Schultz makes the interception.
Pass was intended for Mark Jackson. Denver's first turnover of the day. Eagles take over at the Bronco 40. And John Spagnola battling his way to the first down marker at the 30. Tony Lilly on the stop. Bob, you're trailing 33-7. Minute and a half gone by fourth quarter. Do you stay with the veteran Jaworski in a game that is going nowhere, or do you come in with the young guy Cunningham and give him some experience?
Well, I think you give him the experience, but obviously Ryan is not pleased with his offense and Jaworski and the way they've performed today, so maybe he feels...
Myers are the running backs. 2nd and 1. And Jaworski throwing end zone. And the Philadelphia fans wanted an interference on Steve Wilson, but they will not get it.
Wilson with good coverage, Marv. Quick did a little acting job, and of course the fans saw the two players there, but Wilson knows that if he looks back for the ball and makes an attempt for it, if you take a look back at it, Wilson didn't see a lot of it, but just enough. I don't think he
fired. Ricky Hundley on the stop as Byers picks up the first down.
Byers had that foot injury, and in the offseason came in early with the Eagles, and they had a special tub made for him. It was a huge tub that's called an aqua arc. They could actually suspend him. They'd strap him in, and they'd suspend him, and he could simulate his running motion. He wasn't too sure about getting into it. He says, I can't swim. He said, we're sure that the strap's not going to break.
It is a first down at the 27. We've had a nice, enjoyable preseason. Quick on the reception. And it's a Philadelphia first down. Steve Wilson making the stop. Do I sense another greasy record being shoved rudely out of the books? Marino has thrown for 5 against the Jets. The Miami Dolphin team record, most touchdowns in one game. Bob Greasy throwing 6.
You know, I wish he'd break some of those other ones. Most fumbles, most interceptions. You know,
what a modest guy he is.
This goes for the good ones.
I guess they'll be switching live from the Jet Miami game to get your reaction here, Bob.
Yeah.
First down of the 15, and Jaworski able to peg it, completes to Spagnola. Harden on the stop, and they had some words. The fans like John Spagnola. In fact, when he came out for the first time replacing the starter Dave Little, he received a hand and then caught a pass quickly, and he has been in there most of the day.
He lost his job in preseason because he was a holdout. David Little was here, and one of the players that did not get his job back. It's a frustrating situation for Spagnola and Jaworski, the entire offense, because even if you score, everybody will say, well, you were so far behind anyway. What does it mean?
2nd and 8, only a 2-yard pickup on that pass play. Jaworski off the roll, throwing end zone, incomplete. Mike Quick, the intended receiver, covered by Tony Lilly. And a 3rd down 8 coming up. Well, Marino holding at 5 has not thrown another. They're in the 3rd quarter at Giant Stadium. Dallas maintaining that 1-point lead over Atlanta.
Atlanta being a surprise this year. Jim Kelly, it's amazing what a good offense will do for the defense. The defense now playing very well for the Bills.
Although Kelly has not thrown a touchdown, but what a lift he has provided that club. Minnesota leads Pittsburgh. Tampa Bay over Detroit. 4 minutes gone by in this 4th quarter. A 3rd down 8 for the Eagles. Looking for Quick. He had his back turned, and he threw into double coverage. Robbins got a piece of it. Quick really had not concluded his pattern.
Well, there was good coverage on it. It was man coverage underneath, and he had help deep so he could overplay it. And, of course, the Broncos know that the Eagles like to get quick the ball as much as they possibly can, and they're staying with him most of the time.
A 4th down and 8, and Cunningham has come on, replacing Jaworski.
4th and 8, you're on about the 13, 14-yard line. The threat of the run is the reason he's in there, obviously, but I'd rather go with my main guy.
And Cunningham could not find anybody, and Rulon Jones all over him.
I just don't agree with that, Marv. You're taking out your best player. If Cunningham was so good, he should be playing to start with. I mean, 3rd down is when you want to convert in the 1st down. 3rd downs in the 1st downs, and he's supposed to be a scrambler. He's not running here at all. Jaworski could sit back in the pocket and be sacked like that. It's unfair to Cunningham, and I think it's unfair to the team.
And the Broncos come up with their 4th sack of the day. Denver takes over on downs. And the fans beginning to depart. Short of a sellout by about 5,000 here in Philadelphia. Crowd, nothing official has been announced, but in the area of 66,000. And Denver ruined the Eagles' day right at the start off a safety, the fumbled kickoff by Tototosi. Fans making their way out, and a 30-yard field goal by Carlos made it 5-0. Cunningham intercepted by Harden, who ran it home from 30 yards away for a 12-0 lead. A Jaworski fumble led to another Denver drive. Elway connecting with Dave Stoddard, the left tackle, who was lined up as a tight end. That extended it to 19-0. Elway to Sewell on a 40-yard pass. Big play of a drive that concluded with Winder taking it home from 4 yards out. A 42-yard run by Wilhite, the key play in another drive, and Winder ran it in from 17 yards away for a 33-0 Denver lead. And the only Eagles score, Cunningham, who has been repeatedly coming in on 3rd down, did connect 29-yard pass play to Kenny Jackson. Randall Cunningham, 2nd-year player out of Nevada, Las Vegas.
In Philadelphia, the 3.6 years average years of experience. Denver 21 in the National Football League. Houston is the youngest, the Rams the oldest, and it does make a difference. You have to have that mixture of youth plus experience.
Another telling point there, it's not a long career of the National Football League. First down at the 28. Winder out to the 29, picked up a yard on the play. Jody Schultz on the stop. Matt Cavanaugh is warming up now for the Eagles. Came on last week and was intercepted a couple of times by the Chicago Bears.
Threw 3 passes, 2 interceptions, and wasn't a good day for Cavanaugh, as this is not a good day for Jaworski. Broncos are tough defensively.
2nd and 9. Gary Kubiak in at quarterback. Winder picked up 3 on the play. Next Sunday, the Broncos will be home for the New England Patriots and then home for Dallas. In 3 weeks, October 12th, Broncos play at San Diego, so it will not be a fun and frolic time for Denver.
Broncos have had 2 outstanding years back-to-back, 13-3 in '84 and then 11-5 last year, and really have nothing to show for it. They missed the playoffs last year, the first team to win 11 games and miss the playoffs. They're off to a good start this year to make sure that they don't miss them this year.
3rd and 6. Kubiak able to complete to Sewell at the first down marker. Steve Sewell in his 2nd season out of Oklahoma, taken out of bounds by Terry Hogue. Sewell was short of the first down, so the punting unit coming on. Jack Wheel, man who led the nation in punting as a senior at Wyoming 2 years ago. Mike Waters dropping back to his 20-yard line. Mike Waters, the guy last week, as he awaits this punt from Wheel, who called the Chicago Bears pansies and babies, which was not appreciated by Chicago players. He started the game, played the first series, and was taken out. Buddy Ryan said he took him out actually to protect him.
He said you got to back that stuff up. He didn't do anything in the first 3 plays. And says you don't talk that way. You got to go out and play.
Beautiful punt by Wheel, and good coverage by the Broncos. Darren Como leading the charge, a 46-yard punt. Good hang time. And the short return, a 5-yard return. And here comes Matt Cavanaugh. Penalty being called, a hold on the Eagles. It just gets worse and worse. Mixed reaction for Cavanaugh.
So where do you go from here? You've lost your first 2 games. You played well in Chicago last week against the Bears. Let's get the call.
Holding, number 20 on the return. First down.
Andre Waters with the hold, but it's a tough situation for the Eagles to be in.
And they will start out from their 11. We'll be back in a moment.
The quarterback here, good people.
All nice young men.
All nice young men, yes.
Very nice.
I just wish they'd throw
nice
more
young
on my
man.
record.
Great. Tony Colorado, rookie nose tackle, making the stop, and a first down for Philadelphia.
Different occupation for Jaworski. He doesn't look very happy sending in the signals instead of receiving them.
Eagles first down at their 23. Just under 7 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. Cavanaugh going to his left for the first down with Jackson. Well, Kenny Jackson's had a good game. He caught the Eagles' only touchdown. That's his 4th reception of the day. And Daniel Hunter, the backup cornerback, made the stop.
Straight down and hooking. The secondary for the Bills, for the Broncos, just playing loose is Kenny Jackson. Back in the starting lineup.
And picked up the first down at the Philadelphia 36. Jackson to the near side, and now Quick far side. Cavanaugh had the ball batted away. And the Eagles recover, was slapped out of the hand of Cavanaugh. Ken Woodard getting a piece of it. And Joe Conwell has come on here in the second half, able to cover up. Conwell, the left tackle, who suffered a fractured big toe, and as a result was not in the starting lineup. Tom Gillespie starting today.
Get a nice look at Joe Collier. He has to be pleased as Woodard comes by and knocks the ball out. Woodard with some big plays, not only in this game, but in the Raider game a couple of weeks ago. Got a turnover for a touchdown that helped turn that ball game around.
And Randall Cunningham is here for a 2nd and 33. Cunningham running out of the pocket, out to the 20-yard line.
If I were the quarterback and it was 2nd and 33, I'd wave to the sideline. Randall, come on in. You can have this one. 2nd and 33. You betcha. As they leave Jaworski in, the quarterback that's in the ball game. Tough way to break into this league.
Cunningham avoiding the rush. And hauled down at the 25 by Rick Dennison. And here comes the punting unit. And as you saw, he was all over the punter, John Telchik, off his game last week against the Bears. This is a beauty by Telchik. Mark Jackson on the return, and good coverage by the Eagles. A 48-yard punt. And a 1-yard return with 3:39 remaining in this fourth quarter. The score remains Steve Van Buren. They won it in 48 and 49. They won it with Norm Van Brocklin in 60, but it has been a dreadful start for the Eagles, who will be 0-3 after today. Nearly picked off. Terry Hogue had a shot. The pass intended for Mark Jackson. There is Hogue, third year out of the University of Georgia. And the Broncos with Ken Bell, a rookie from Boston College, in the backfield now with Gerald Wilhite.
Steve Watson is still in the ball game, as you see a hit there. I don't know if Watson has caught a pass yet today. I don't know. He's not. Watson has not caught a pass, and his streak of 49 in a row is in jeopardy.
2nd and 10. Here's Wilhite. Out to the 33-yard line. Picked up 5. So Wilhite now 90 yards, 11 carries. Winder has gone over 100, 20 carries, 104 yards, looking to become the first tandem since Otis Armstrong and John Keyworth raced for better than 100 on the ground in one game. 3rd down and 5. Gary Kubiak played most of the second half. John Elway getting a rest with this game well in hand for the Broncos. Wilhite on the swing and has the first down. Renard Wilson bumped him out of bounds. It does not get much better for the Eagles next week, though. With their records, they were just kind of middle ground. Better to be have a. But you're not looking at it that way at the time, as Bell made the catch. But the Eagles last year, 5-11.
I think they finished 4th. I think the 4th place team, the 1st and the 4th place team play the same schedule. Right. So you're playing the equivalent of a 1st place division winning team, and you're playing all the other division winners.
Second and 3 from the 49 coming up for Kubiak, who is 7 out of 10, 67 yards, intercepted once. 2.5 to go. 4th quarter. Kubiak overthrows. And Watson was in the area. Apparently they are trying to connect with Watson.
Says, well, he says, I tried. Watson went down on a slant and actually sat down or stopped running in an area that he thought was open, and Kubiak doesn't get to work with him that often in practice, continued to lead him and overthrew him. So Steve Watson with no catches today. Watson, with all that speed, has helped take some of the double coverage away from Watson.
Watson had 6 catches Monday night against the Steelers. 3rd down 3, and they go to the ground. Bell stopped, lost on the play. Reggie White among those to get to. Boilermaker out of Purdue with a great opportunity. Here's the 2-minute warning.
Quarterback. Do they risk bringing in injured Jim McMahon to provide a spark, or should they stick with Fuller? What would you do? Side on McMahon, who throws 3 touchdowns to spark a gutsy come-from-behind Chicago victory. The Bears made the right choice.
Interesting to see how Philadelphia head coach Buddy Ryan reacts following this blowout here today. After the blowout at the hands of the Redskins, he kind of stayed away from it. Didn't want to hurt the players' morale even more. He had some strong words, though, after the close loss to the Chicago Bears.
Well, you know, what can you say? I mean, you got to go in and be honest, which I think he will be. He says, we got our tails kicked. We got to regroup from here. And that's the only way you can approach it. You have to be honest. You have to call a mistake and build on the good things and just hope that you're going to get going next week.
All right, it's been all Denver Broncos right from that opening kickoff on the fumble by Tatalatasi that led to the safety. And Dan Reeves can certainly afford to have the smile. He has had a very pleasant afternoon. Dan in his 6th year as head coach. When he took over back in 1981, he was the youngest head coach of the National Football League at age 36. Jack Wheel getting set to punt from his 32-yard line. Mike Waters is back, way back at his 10. again, the good hang time. And is kicked out of bounds by Dennison. So 1:49 remaining of the game. And the Eagles.
Joe Collier, 18 years with the Denver Broncos, is really probably, I don't know, head coach material. You talk about valuable coaches in the National Football League. He's given the signals of what he wants to play. But without that man right there, this defense would probably be, well, I don't say just another defense in the league because they do have good personnel, but certainly not as good as it is.
2nd and 5. Quick pitch intended for Quick. Right on the coverage. Broncos going with 6 defensive backs. Along with Wright and Harden, they have Wilson and Lilly, Robbins and Hunter. So this entire Bronco roster getting playing time here today. Jackson.
They go today.
Now split wide to the left, top of your screen. Tosi, nowhere to go. Steve Wilson leading the charge and on the tackle.
You talk about the dominant teams in the AFC at this point of the season, Marv, you certainly have got to include the Denver Broncos. The way they handled the Raiders 2 weeks ago, and then Pittsburgh, and now the dominant way they've come back after a short week, a Monday night game. But I would think that the New England Patriots, the first few games they've played, and Seattle playing very well early on, but a lot of things can happen through the course of the season.
And here is John Telchik punting for the 5th time this afternoon. Mark Jackson is back. And they will spot it across the 20-yard line. A 43-yard punt. We're down to 49 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter.
Watson means a lot to this ball club. I'd like to see him keep the string going.
But they're just going to run the clock out. And right here, it's time for the Most Valuable Player Award, sponsored by Budweiser. And today's MVP, Sammy Winder of the Denver Broncos. And Budweiser will make a contribution to the United Way on behalf of all the MVPs selected in today's game. Sammy Winder, 104 yards on the ground. And Gerald Wilhite will fall short, 90 yards on 11 carries. So still a healthy day's work for the Denver backfield as this one winds down. Final seconds, another rough one for Buddy Ryan and his Philadelphia Eagles. The Broncos go to 3-0. The Eagles 0-3. Denver defeating Philadelphia 33-7. We'll be back right after these words.
Well, as it's happened so often for the Broncos, the defense has set up, the special teams has set up the offense, but normally it's the passing game. Today it was the running game. Sammy Winder, Gerald Wilhite coming through in what has to be a very pleasing afternoon for Dan Reeves.
And this is a game that, as it turned out, John Elway's services were not needed. He was 7 for 12, 96 yards, and Gary Kubiak took over.
And Buddy Ryan is finding out, starting 0-3, that the honeymoon is really over, and now you have to